Orlovsky has been off since the Super Bowl, so he's got a whole bunch of hot takes that he's been cooking up for the last couple of weeks, and let's hear some of them. Dan Orlovsky, start us off with a trade you want to see happen.
The Los Angeles Rams have to go back a couple years ago, take one of those first-round picks and trade for Maxx Crosby. This is a Super Bowl football team. You are a player away on the defensive side, a difference maker from being better than Seattle. If you take Maxx Crosby and you put him with Young and Turner and Fisk and Poona Ford, now we got a defensive line that you could look to Seattle and be like, hey, we're just as good, if not better than yours. The Rams, that doesn't matter. Go trade for Maxx Crosby.
Yeah, one championship is invaluable, and he would be a huge piece in it. So much talk, and I want to bring Schrager in from the Combine, because Schrager, so much talk about Maxx Crosby. Is he available? Is he not available? What are you hearing about those possibilities?
It's real that there's a lot of talk about Crosby here at the Combine. I would also add that he has been rehabbing in Vegas in the facility every single day. General Manager John Spytek said this week that he talks to Crosby via text daily and that they are in a very good place. I think from the Rams' perspective, this is an absolute no-brainer. From a Raiders' perspective, you're building anew. There's very few cornerstone pieces in that franchise. Maxx Crosby's that guy. Mendoza will be the other one. I'd be shocked if they traded him anything less than like 3 first-round picks.
Okay, 3 first-round picks would be quite the haul. We'll see what winds up happening. Dan, give me another one. Give me one on the Dallas Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys are 2 defensive pieces away from being legit contenders. This defense was obviously historically bad last year. A lot of reasons of the why. They've got 2 really good defensive tackles. They need an edge player and a back-end player that are difference makers. This offense in Dallas will be a top 5, top 6 offense once again next year, as long as Pickens is there. I'm bullish on the Cowboys. I truly believe with the new defensive coordinator and 2 difference-making pieces on their defensive side, the Cowboys can be legit contenders.
What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I think it's going to take about 3 or 4 different pieces defensively. I do love Christian Parker, their new defensive coordinator. His specialty is the secondary. We got to remember, Donovan Wilson, he's a free agent. You're going to need multiple pieces in that secondary, I believe. And let's not forget the linebacker position. They have like 3 or 4 guys at linebacker that are free agents too. So I just don't want to ignore that position as well, Dio.
All right, and then Dan, let's get to the last one, because this is the one that really jumped off the page at me. What are you thinking about in Minnesota?
You need a starting quarterback. That has to be the mindset in Minnesota right now through free agency and then into the draft. We have to bring in a starting quarterback. I understand J.J. McCarthy's there. I still am in support of J.J. McCarthy, but the lack of health and availability, matched with just the lack of not playing at a high level consistently enough, has got to get Kevin O'Connell and that organization's attention. You got to win in this league. They got a Hall of Fame wide receiver. They have to have the mindset we are bringing in a starting quarterback in the next 2 months.
Look, this is a team that won 14 games, what is now 2 years ago, won 9 games last year with dreadful quarterback play. You made that point repeatedly yesterday, and it's clearly true. So they're close. They're not that far. They should be thinking championship-esque kind of thoughts. Peter, what sense are you getting there about what Minnesota is thinking relative to its quarterback situation?
Well, their general manager from a year ago is no longer working for the team. And I think the cardinal sin was not about paternity leaves or issues with the head coach. The cardinal sin was letting Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones out of that building when they both were in the building last year. They have to remedy that. J.J. McCarthy was given the benefit of the doubt last year coming off the injury that he was going to be coming back and being worthy of that top 10 selection that he was. He did win a bunch of games at the end of the season, so there was some positive momentum. But yes, there absolutely will be a challenger there. Aaron Rodgers, well, that's a very, very loaded question. And with that comes questions about Rodgers' future, of course, where he's going to be playing or whether he wants to play, and also whether they want to have that in the room with a quarterback who's now going to be entering year 3, what they're hoping, a year where he will blossom and catch up to the other guys in his draft class.
Look, I mean, that's the easy, not easy, but that's the real question here. If you bring Aaron Rodgers there, and that's been the topic of conversation, we know Rodgers, Shefty did not shut this down on the radio the other day. He said Rodgers wanted to be there a year ago, and they may have a different perspective. That wouldn't be bringing in a challenger to J.J. McCarthy.
You shouldn't bring in a challenger.
You bring in, but my point is, you bring in Aaron Rodgers, you're basically moving on from J.J. McCarthy.
That's where Minnesota has to have the mindset. Last year, I was anti that. Last year, I was the person to say, nope, no Aaron Rodgers to Minnesota because J.J. McCarthy, it would stunt his growth, it would stunt his development. Again, I'm a supporter of J.J. If you're Minnesota, you have to be thinking of who is the best quarterback for us available right now and go get him. Kevin O'Connell is a great coach. The NFL doesn't care about what you did 2 years ago. If you have another bad year, you're going to be on that hot seat all of a sudden, and then you're in that same situation. So as much as I worry about the stunting of the growth, nope. If Aaron Rodgers wants to go to Minnesota, and if I'm Minnesota, go get Aaron Rodgers.
What do you think?
Well, number one, my mindset is this team is in win-now mode.
Right.
They don't have time to be waiting on J.J. McCarthy. But if you have a Justin Jefferson, who I still feel like is the best receiver in the game, you have a solid number 2 in Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, well, you need a piece to the puzzle that gets those guys the football.
Is Aaron Rodgers that piece?
Yes, he is. Or you can be Kirk Cousins. Either one of the two.
The totem pole should be Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray. That should be the order for the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, still capable of playing good football. Kirk Cousins, I thought, played good football when he started last year. And then Kyler Murray is still so talented that if you don't get one of those two, he's the guy.
Peter.
It's interesting because there's going to be this second class or second tier of guys, and you might not, if you're a Minnesota fan, be excited by a name like Jimmy Garoppolo or Joe Flacco or Geno Smith if he's let go by the Vegas Raiders. But there will be this veteran crop at an affordable price that can go in there and just push JJ a little bit more. To Dan's point, you bring in Rodgers, it's not pushing JJ and motivating JJ. It is an absolute threat to JJ. Whether or not they're worried about that, that's the decision that they have to make.
Well, you can't worry about feelings in this situation because you don't want to get to a point if you're Kevin O'Connell where you're worried about your job.
Right.
Like, it's about winning, and can you win now?
It's health, too. As much as I love the kid, he hasn't been healthy enough.
Right.
And so are you going to bank on, one, him staying healthy, and then also truly elevating his play? Because if he doesn't do both of those, then you're in a very bad situation, and you're ruining and wasting a really good roster.
Yeah, one could argue they did that last year, that they wasted a really good roster, wasted
you have
an
to bring
opportunity.
a starter
Third
there.
best defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, in the best division in the sport, they still managed to find a way to win 9 games, and their quarterback play was just terrible. All right, rolling on, we're going to say these words. Thank you very much. The owner of the Suns went off on tanking on McAfee yesterday. You've got to hear all of it, and you will.
I'm all right.
Still to come, we go live to Anywhere. Browns head coach Todd Monken addressed his team's quarterback competition today. SportsCenter will be back in 15 seconds.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. New jobs, new projects. Celebrate your new year with quality tools and savings at Harbor Freight. Coming soon, get a free 5-gallon bucket when you spend $29.99 in store.
Let's go back to the NFL. The Browns may have a quarterback battle in camp between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Who's going to protect them? The entire starting offensive line is entering free agency. Yes, their entire offensive line could all switch teams. What are we doing in Cleveland? None of the 3 quarterbacks under contract have a winning record with the Browns. That, of course, includes Deshaun Watson coming off multiple injuries and the ruptured Achilles. Plus, Shedeur Sanders just posted the lowest QBR in the NFL among all 40 quarterbacks with at least 5 starts. And SportsCenter on the Road is presented by Geico as we welcome in NFL reporter Kimberly A. Martin from Indy. Earlier today, Kimberly Kmart, you spoke with new Browns head coach Todd Monken. What did he tell you about the Browns quarterback situation?
Kevin, stop me if you've heard this before. I'm talking about the Browns, and they are entering an offseason in which they are unsure who will be their starting quarterback. Another quarterback competition, like you said, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson. Now, head coach Ted Monken told me he can't rule out adding another quarterback in the draft or free agency, but he said he's excited about the 3 he has in the building, and he talked a little bit about his thoughts on his QB room right now. Take a listen.
What you see is talent. When you look at Shedeur, a player that had an elite college career, you can see him make all the plays. He's got a unique ability to create, and then you see it with Deshaun. You've seen it. Now, it's been a few years since then. Dylan, I mean, what can you say about a player that's done it at 3 different colleges at an elite level? I mean, from Central Florida to Oklahoma and then Oregon. So I'm thrilled. I think all of them have an upper-level skill set that we can work with.
Now, Kevin, as far as the other side of the ball, the defense, that's been the unit that's really carried this team, has been dominant. Now, Jim Schwartz, their old DC, will not be calling plays this year, but Monken assured me we will be the same defense. We'll be attacking and physical, which should be music to the ears of guys like Myles Garrett, who have yet to talk to Todd Monken in person, but they should be happy that it will be the same defense we're going to see this year.
Just help the guy. Garrett, the most dominant defensive player in the league. Just help.